On today's episode of JBYC.
EJ.
All right, we'll start
Okay.
over. We'll start over.
Take two. Take two. I thought I was third.
Still, Bob.
Coming up today on JBYC.
Is the Dark Knight a fascist? And also talk about that old After Dark screensaver set.
I'm going to talk about horror gaming and how I don't really like the genre, but it's really good.
And I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but all that and more on today's episode of JBYC.
Yeah,
Judging by your crotch.
Okay, let's do it. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story The Tale of the Phantom Cab.
Hey everyone! It is Monday, July 22nd. I'm Bobby Frankenberger, and you're listening to episode 17 of JBYC. This is a show where three people who've been friends for longer than any of us care to remember get together and talk about what's been going on in the past week. Every week we have a topic or a theme. This week's theme is the dark. How's it going, Ryan? One of my two guests. Oh, you're a fire.
Yes, I was doing the campfire from Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah,
He's on fire.
I guess you're right. You're not a guest. You're a co-host of this show. Let me give you the credit you deserve.
These dang things.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing very well. But let me go ahead and introduce the other one that we
I want a producer credit. I need a producer credit.
Today's producer on JBYC, The Edge.
All right.
EJ.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to this.
Doesn't take
We're
much.
going to go dark today.
Yeah, we're gonna go
going
dark.
dark.
Off the grid.
We will have some dark humor. We'll have some dark insights, some dark intrigues and mysteries. We're going into the darkness today.
Not that far.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before
I thought I set that up pretty good, but y'all did not deliver.
I mean, I just did a 50 thing, and then he was supposed to take over, and he did not.
Listen. I don't know
work
what
on this.
I don't know what you guys expect from me.
Maybe by episode 117 we'll have this together.
So
We're really on episode 17? That's bizarre.
Yes, this is.
Want to reminisce a little bit?
Yeah, think all the way back to episode 1.
What did we do on episode 1?
Well, the pilot we didn't ever release, actually. Do you remember that? We have an unreleased pilot, but then the first episode was
not
about
evergreen,
tubes.
I don't think either.
Tubes.
Yeah. Of course. Why did I forget? That's the first one we decided to go with. Yeah.
We currently have one viewer for every episode we've done.
Yeah. So at this rate, you guys can do the math.
In 1,000 episodes, we'll have over 1,000 people watching. That's not how that works, and that's probably not true.
So
That's a double lie.
So since our last episode, I have been the day after our last episode, I drove my kids to Georgia and dropped them off and came home, but with their grandparents, not just on the side of the street. And so I've been home here by myself for the past week for the first time ever in 6 years since I've had kids.
Did you do one of these, Bob? Ah!
Home alone.
Did you give him one of those?
Yeah, and then someone in Georgia went, Kevin.
We forgot Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Did you order a pizza? Have any burglars been trying to break into your apartment? Come on, give us the scoop. Is there an old man who's actually friendly, but you think he's evil and puts dead bodies in his salt?
No, but somebody
He dresses
did.
up as a pirate ghost.
Somebody did.
Do you have a freaking tarantula terrorizing you?
I have a gerbil and a dog, and there was a guy driving around my house
terrorizing?
today in a lawnmower.
He was driving around it, like doing donuts.
Well, he
around
was
your house?
cutting the grass.
Did he look suspicious?
No, I know
Are you
the
in
guy.
any danger, or is this just another
What kind
boring
of
episode
danger?
of the Bobby Show?
Maybe I'm
You know
in
the answer
danger.
to this.
I went on a run twice, and it was really hot. No, I'm not
Gotta
in any danger.
hydrate.
I
Heat
played.
stroke warning.
I played a new board game though. Gen 7 was really fun. Have any of you played?
I never played Gen 6.
Have any of you ever played games like Dead of Winter? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
It's a semi-cooperative game, both Dead of Winter and Gen 7. It's a semi-cooperative game where you're working together with the people that you are playing with. You're all trying to accomplish the thing, and it's a pretty cool theme. You're like your Generation 7 on this 210-year mission of an Ark generation ship that's flying through space, and like you just woke up from your hibernation and you're supposed to be maintaining the ship. It's your shift, and it's a legacy game where you play across multiple sessions, and
Who won?
we have not completed it. You're supposed to play it seven episodes of the game. We played 2, and
That's demanding.
yeah, it
That's a
takes it
That's
takes
a commitment.
yeah. Well, those are those legacy games, like if you've ever played oh, I don't know. What's that one game where there's viruses? Pandemic Legacy is a popular one. I don't know. It's a style of board games where you keep track of the status at the end of the game that you play, and it carries over to your next play, and it's unlocks another chapter of the story.
You can level up, get XP.
Yes, you can, and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
So how do you beat the other players?
You don't. It's a cooperative game. So you're all working
Boring.
together. Yes.
Boring.
Stephanie, my wife, actually doesn't like cooperative
High
games
five.
very much. She
Stephanie's the hardcore. She hates casuals.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm tired of you casuals.
You got there.
Yeah.
She's a gamer girl.
Yeah.
Neckbeard Stephanie.
Yeah.
If there's no PvP, I want nothing to do with it.
Exactly. What have you guys been doing since the last episode? Anything fun?
No.
No.
I feel like I should have an answer for this. Nope.
Oh, I hung out with some Germans on Saturday. 5 Germans.
Yeah?
Was that
Yep.
Anything?
actually
yeah.
fun? Was that just
No, it was
a
really
thing?
fun.
What do you intend
They,
to hang out with 5 Germans?
What is it like
Yeah, no,
hanging out with
they
Germans
came
that's
to Hanoi.
different than hanging out with other people?
I'll tell you this, and I've talked because I've hung out with Germans many times. I think that most of the Germans I would say that I've talked to are really good listeners, and they really.
Is that
are
why they make all
curious about other
the
people.
great psychotherapists? Is because
It
they're
could be. I don't know. There could be something to that, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird when I hang out with Germans. They like always asking me a bunch of questions about myself, and they're like listening to everything I say, and it's almost sort of creepy. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. It's not like they actually creep me out, but it's almost like unsettling because I'm so used to talking to Americans, and you know, like me.
Yeah.
I just want to hear my own voice.
Yeah.
But it's almost
we
too
all-
much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Did I get the how are you doing anecdote from one of you guys about Germans? Where
like
like
friends?
so like when you ask them, they actually like they want to like in like personal anecdote, they want to actually like respond.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
you're not
they
looking
don't
for
say
that.
how are you
You're just
doing
looking for like a good
ironically
yeah
or-
whatever.
Yeah, if you ask them that question and you don't know them, first of all, I think it's kind of disconcerting to them because it's kind of a personal question.
Like, hey, how you doing?
And then if you ask
Whoa,
your
pal,
friend-
we just met.
They don't like it is kind of bullshit. You know, it is kind of bullshit. When you ask somebody how they're doing, you don't really care usually.
I
No,
definitely
you
don't.
care ever. No. He does it at the top of this episode every time. He doesn't
No,
care what we're saying.
there-
He wants to get to
There
the
are
next
times
one.
when you do. If you see somebody you haven't seen in a long time, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I've seen you say,
Sometimes.
like,
How you
"What's
been?
up?"
I guess how you been is more of a sincere question usually.
I usually
doing?
say like, what have you been up to?
How you hanging?
How's it going? No, yeah, I think you're right about that. So the lesson we've learned here is Germans. They're more polite than the rest of us.
That's pretty much
What that's
par for the
Well,
course
they're-
internationally.
Every
Just a-
segment we have on JBYC has a lesson, right?
I think I've met 20 Germans, and I would say 17 of them were pretty polite.
Wow.
I've met
So 17
a
out of
lot.
20 Germans have been pretty polite to me.
Were the other three rude or just like kind of polite?
One of them was really rude. It was actually the first German I ever talked to that wasn't one of my professors. Because when I was on this trip to the Dominican Republic, I went to a cigar factory, and there was a German family there. And I was actively studying German in college at the time. So I went up to the German guy, and I just wanted to practice my German, you know? Don't get a lot of opportunities to practice it in South Carolina. So I said, "Was ist die Uhr?" Like, what time is it? And he looked at his watch, and he was like, "It's 11," in English. Like he would
What
not
a
answer in
jerk.
German.
Yeah, he totally was
And
so
then
mean to you.
He just gave me like a death glare and walked away.
Maybe he
did
didn't
not
know
want-
how to speak German.
Maybe he was on a family vacation and didn't want to talk to some
It's
kid.
a sore subject.
Yeah.
Well, I have talked to Germans about it since, and they say that a lot of Germans. I doubt that my German was good enough that he realized. I mean, I'm sure he knew I wasn't like a German. You know what I'm saying? But they
Right.
did say if he thought I was a German, he might actually have avoided me because apparently Germans do try to avoid each other when they're traveling. That's what German people have told me, which is true of Americans too. I try to avoid Americans when I'm traveling.
Yeah, but we suck. Like, we're
Yeah, that's
bad.
true.
I try to avoid
That's true.
Americans most times. Justin McGuffin said it perfectly. I think Germans are the uncanny valley of people. And with that, that's the true lesson. So with that, we'll go on to here. Ready?
That's terrible.
You know, kind of a share.
So I actually just listened to an entire thing about Marvel and superheroes and stuff, and I know that you wanted to talk some about superheroes, EJ. So, but that's apropos
Yeah.
of nothing what I said. I mean, I guess it's apropos of superheroes, but I was. You know,
What did you read about superheroes?
Oh, I was just reading some of the things that were announced at Comic-Con about the MCU and stuff. So.
Oh, I really don't care about that. So, don't change the subject.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I meant to have a sound pad ready for that, but I forgot. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. The
That's the
Dark
lightning thunder.
Knight.
Right.
Is he a fascist? Some people
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
think so. Let's ask Bobby and Ryan. Have you heard the theory that Batman's a fascist?
I don't think
mean,
so, but I mean,
Hey, Bob, wait a minute. Hold the show. Time out.
what?
I just noticed your slick new haircut.
Thanks. Don't have any product in it today.
You went to the stylist, huh?
Yeah.
Was it as
looking
easy as
styling.
you said it would be?
Yeah. I learned how to use a blow dryer. She taught me how to use one. About like what to.
Why is it so glossy and healthy looking? Did she? did
There's
they give you
nothing
a
in
new
it.
Shampoo.
I'm using a new shampoo. It's a moisturizing shampoo.
That's looking good.
She told me I
Looks
needed
healthy.
to stop using that Head and Shoulders crap.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
And thanks. This is just with nothing done to it. I'm just feeling pretty good. She thinned it out a little bit. That's always kind of been my problem. I have too much.
Oh, I've
hair.
got the opposite. I want to get it thickened.
I know.
so
Sorry,
you
I
can
don't.
see a little.
Yeah. It's okay.
Need a
And
little
we don't have to
thickener.
talk about it if you don't want to.
Vanity corner.
Anyway, so Batman's a Nazi. Have you heard this theory?
No,
I mean,
I have not.
Not in so many words, no. People have always kind of said he's a jerk in getting towards like that. Sure, yeah.
But he's the
So,
the
yeah.
fascist we need.
Well,
Not
that's
the fascist we
that's
asked
the
for.
supposition.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a simple theory.
Yeah.
but
Tell
I
me
think
about
we
it.
could have
Convince
lots
me.
of
Convince
discussion
me
about
that
it.
he's a fascist. Come on, let's do it.
Well, the jury's still out with me. That's why I wanted to check in with you two. But basically, the idea is that he goes around. He's a rich billionaire, and he unilaterally goes around and decides who's a criminal and who's not. He works with the cops, but like under the table, and like rounds people up. Generally, he throws them into a mental institution,
Fair.
and
Asylum.
yeah, he basically is like an authoritarian. He has no democratically. He's not democratically selected in any way. There's no oversight over what he does. He's just decided he's going to take this power into his own hands, and he goes around and distributes his own version of justice however he sees fit.
And
So-
definitely in the world, in the comics, like in the movies, like in the DC world, and that Batman lives in, that's they raise that issue all the time.
So in the Justice League cartoon that was an extension of like the the Batman animated series, there's an alternate world where they are fascists and they're all kind of assholes, obviously, but like they are, and like he beats his Batman and takes over and fixes it, but like there's a whole storyline about them being like fascist, like crazy people, and then they find the way over to this world and start doing that to us, kind of thing.
But isn't there also a lot of tension between uh, people like Superman and Batman? Don't they?
Batman, in particular, there's a storyline called Tower of Babel where he has a plan for every single one of them, how to stop them or kill them, and it all goes into effect because someone takes over. I can't remember who, but like, yeah, Batman in particular is a uber.
I didn't know you read so
asshole.
many comics, Ryan.
Well,
When did you become a comic fan?
I don't know. I've always kind of known about it and read some of the major stories.
I would say that Superman is arguably more of a fascist than Batman.
In terms
Because-
of writing, I would say Batman, because that Babel stuff and like the other storylines where it's basically like, okay, well, I have a plan to take care of you behind your back because I want to have full control over everything at all times. But yeah, like Superman still has a thing. There's a Superman Red Sun, where instead of us, he lands in Soviet Russia, and he's used very much as a
I
fascist
love the art
tool.
from that.
It's very good.
I
love
feel
the art
like
from that.
I feel like that's a big prescient theme in superhero comics in general. I mean, like it's a theme that's a storyline and a theme that's brought up all the time about individual superheroes who have too much control and too much power and not enough oversight. Even like the Avengers, like the whole Civil War storyline that was obviously made into the movies now. The whole that whole storyline was about oversight of the Avengers, superheroes, you know, and that's why there was a civil war between them, is because some of them thought we have to maintain this autonomy because we're the only ones who can do this, and the other half thought no, we have way too much power and it needs to be checked. So I don't think that is an unreasonable read of Batman and superheroes in general, because it's obviously a theme that gets tackled all the time with that. And I think superheroes are a good comics and whatnot are a good place to highlight that sort of problem in society in general, don't you think?
Well, that's what the X-Men originally were. Besides, like the racism component, it's also like the man trying to like eradicate you kind of component.
Yeah, the X-Men I think has a more coherent ideological foundation than most other superhero stories, because they directly confront a lot of these issues, and also the X-Men are more like a there's more of like a structure to it. You know, like it's not just one lone individual going around distributing, you know, justice however they see fit. It's at least it's a collective, and they have some sort of a group dynamic going on.
Well, I think it's because
It
it's more of
elevates
an
them.
analog. Like it's written directly as an analog for the times.
Yeah.
Well, those
Superman-
times,
Right.
these times
I
too.
mean, you also have to look at when did X-Men come out? Like in the 60s?
I believe so.
And Superman was made, you know, in our
30s.
very jingoistic 30s.
The
Yeah.
first one I think is called the Gladiator, and I think he was a few years before.
1963 was the first X-Men. Yeah, so they definitely reflect the times that they come from. And Batman is from the 50s, right? Or 40s or 50s?
And he's further back than
Let's
that.
see. Hold on. Batman's first comic was, I know it was called like Detective Stories, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Detective Comics.
Detective Comics, April 1940. Okay, so they're both fascists. Yeah, Superman and Batman.
Yeah, and to
And
talk
the
about
X-Men.
X-Men, that's sort of like baked into the premise of X-Men. You've got your, you know, the X-Men, and then you've got, you know, I can't remember what Magneto's group was called, but you know, he's more of that other side of the same coin, that sort of the same as that Civil War Avengers theme that I was just talking about. Like that's kind of what they did, and it was baked into the premise of the X-Men. You know.
Yeah.
So
the X-Men are. Do they ever fight Batman?
well, the X-Men are Marvel.
Did the X-Men ever fight Batman?
The X-Men are in the Marvel
Has
universe.
Batman ever
and
been an
Batman
X-Man?
is a DC.
There's Amalgam, which combines for like a miniseries X-Men and or like Marvel and DC, but it's more like there's a Wolverine Batman instead of just like fighting each other. I think.
There's a Wolverine Batman.
Pretty sure. I don't think I ever read Amalgam, but it's weird.
Wolverine Bat.
Well, Amalgam, DC, Marvel. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff out of that. But they did a crossover, yes.
Yeah.
There's also
wanna know
What Ifs.
Is that a comic?
What If comics are
comic series?
basically like it's on the tin. So like they're like, what if Superman got lost forever or something like that, or like what if
like in the parking
what
lot?
if, well, the best
Where
one is
did I
like,
park
what
my
if
car?
Spider-Man was trained as an assassin? So like over the time of the comic, like they make his spider sense so good that he knows like weeks ahead what's going to happen if he focuses on it, and like he's just this crazy good assassin person.
Can assassins do that?
No.
That's weird. That doesn't make. It sounds like they screwed the pooch on that one.
Can you
Assassins don't
see,
predict the future.
No, what he's saying.
Captain Superman here and
Oh, I do.
Bat Wolverine
Oh my god.
and
See, this is what I love. I actually love this kind of stuff.
Amalgam's
But the
weird.
sad thing is they'll never make films like that. You know what I mean? They'll never make movies like that because they're so obsessed with canon. Y'all know how I feel about canon.
That's not true. They're not so obsessed with that. There's like a.
When's the last time they made a wacky, zany crossover between two franchises that was just fun and not some kind of?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? There is so much wacky, zany stuff they don't take
even talk about
themselves
the Marvel
seriously.
Are you gonna talk about the Marvel universe?
Yeah, I'm talking about Marvel.
I mean,
yeah.
that's the point. Yeah.
Come on, that's all the Marvel universe.
So
Yeah,
So what
okay.
you're
It's the
asking
Marvel
me?
universe.
So what you're asking? What are you talking
They never
about? I
had
don't
a-
even know what the
He wants
words you're.
these- He wants DC in there too, or anything
No,
else.
I want everyone fighting everyone and being everyone.
Okay.
I want
Weirdo.
Batman to fight. I want Batman to fight the X-Men, and I want Superman to be Aquaman. I want
Whoa.
there to be.
You want Superman to be Aquaman?
Yeah, I want all of this stuff to happen. I just want it to. I want him to go. It's like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's why that would have been so much better if they never
It is
changed the animation.
not like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I will call
It's
that
exactly
out.
like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
No, you
Sonic.
were, no,
They screwed the Sonic. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie was going to be great,
no.
and then they ruined the animation. They had to go. They had
No.
to change the animation. The
Negative.
original trailer was so good.
Mm-mm.
Chris in the chat
They
room
should
makes a
just-
good point. You want EJ wants Who Framed Roger Rabbit in superhero form.
I want it all. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want
He
Roger
wants
Rabbit.
Space Jam in superhero form.
Space Jam. Yeah, let's.
I
get...
want Roger Rabbit and Space Jam fighting the X-Men on
Gotham
Tatooine.
in Gotham City.
Yeah, Gotham City, space Tatooine.
Yeah.
Gotham City XX
cantina.
2020. Yeah.
In Gotham City on Tatooine, in the Transformers universe. I don't know. I want it all.
All
Or the
encased in the
Muppets are playing the
Thunderdome.
Cantina theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside
Yes.
the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Kermit's got a lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
This is dumb. I hate it.
I agree with you. Let's Ryan, I agree with you.
Everybody, do the robot.
I don't like horror games either, Ryan.
When's like the last okay, so like horror games in general, like I think there's been kind of a through line of like now they're very much not jump scares. They're like, we're gonna spook you and we're gonna have you not know what's going on the whole time. Like, ooh, atmospheric horror.
So I
Like-
guess you're right. I guess
Walking
we should
simulators?
qualify what all these things are because I think the games that I didn't like, literally the last horror game I played was when we were in college. What was that game? I think it
Fear.
was one of the. Was it Fear? I think
Fear
it was.
or Resident Evil 4.
It was probably
3.
Fear.
I remember
and
playing
it was
Doom 3.
full of a bunch of jump scares, and I had to stop
Fear
playing
has some
it.
jump scares.
I had to stop playing it because I was getting tired of peeing my pants in front of Ryan.
I distinctly remember having my headphones on and like jumping a lot while playing that game. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you told me, you said you need to play this at night with your headphones on. We'll turn off the lights in the dorm room, and that's how you need to play this game. And I did, and I didn't finish it.
so like there's older games like Silent Hill, which I never really played because like I was like I can't do that. But then like there's a modern like version which
Why
is called
can't you
PT.
do it? What do you mean?
Well,
You
I
can't
don't
do
like
the-
I don't like
you don't have
horror in general. Like I don't like
Like the
I get
genre.
scary movies or like scary. I don't like scary movies.
Yeah.
So like scary interactive movies, I hate more.
So is it you don't like being scared? Is that what it is?
Oh no, I don't mind the roller coaster effect kind of thing.
Sure.
I don't like how my brain when I go to sleep later will be like, hey, you remember
The
that
Oh.
nightmares.
Bone massacre? No, it's not
Yeah.
nightmares. It's just like keeping me awake kind of stuff.
Yeah, because for me, it really is just the jump scares. I just don't like jump scares because they get me every time and make me feel bad, and I don't like it.
Well, see,
I don't mind
like,
jump scares, but the thing that bothers me is just I guess we're drifting off topic, but I don't like watching
Movies is
people
fine.
suffer.
See,
you know,
for
like,
me, what
The
really
Hills
gets
Have
me
Eyes.
is the classic. Oh, see, I can't do those like slashers, but it's the atmospheric horror. Like I don't know, Rosemary's Baby or The Exorcist.
Oh, Rosemary's Baby. I love Rosemary's. Okay, I love that. I love Rosemary's Baby because it's like I love the stuff where it's kind of just psychological. But
See,
I don't like
those
it where
are-
it's just watching people suffer.
Those are very good films where I can't listen to the opening soundtrack to Rosemary's Baby because it's like, okay, nope,
You
But
don't
I've
like the
watched
Exorcist either, I guess.
I can't hear that dun, 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 like the sound effect from The Exorcist either. Like
Have they made a movie like that recently? Like in the last couple of decades?
they've been doing
What's the
movies
last,
like that. Hereditary,
Never saw that.
Us, movies like that. Yeah,
I guess
they
don't
do
get that
psychological
famous.
horror.
Just McGuffin in the chat says jump scares are cheap. I don't like jump scares, but I disagree that jump scares are cheap. I just think that they're a different genre. Like
It's a different
they're trying to do a different thing.
Well, see,
Yeah.
okay, so the classics are like Silent Hill, Resident Evil. I consider like games like Fatal Frame a classic that hasn't been remade. But like for instance, Fatal Frame doesn't do jump scares, but it does a different way where you have to have a camera to see the ghosts. You have a camera obscura, so you don't see anything unless you have it up to your face, constricting your vision.
Mhm.
And that's how they get you because you're like, okay, I know there's gonna be something down this hall. I can kind of hear something going on. You put the camera
Oh,
to your
right.
face. It's not a jump scare. It's you're doing it to yourself.
It's like the classic like in a horror video game where they put you in a dark room or hallway and give you nothing but a flashlight.
Or an open door. All the other doors are locked. You're like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna walk up to that door, and the door slams shut on you.
Like I remember playing what's that 6 pages or the Enderman game?
Slenderman.
Slenderman, not
Slenderman.
Enderman. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of
Enderman's
Minecraft.
No, I was about to talk about that.
But that Slenderman game did scare me because there wasn't like you were just walking around with this and you knew it was there, but it was never showing it to you, and it was so that scared me. But
What I was gonna say though is that Slender Man is like a one-trick pony, and all it has are the jump scares. And when you do that, I think that's kind of like a not interesting to me personally. But when jump scares interest me, and I guess I like it when they're used very sparingly, so that when they happen, they have like a lot of impact.
So a game like
You know what I'm saying?
that I think has the same issue is Five Nights at Freddy's, which you might have heard of.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you're looking at cameras to keep track of ostensibly homicidal Chuck E. Cheese robots,
Yeah.
and you're watching them. You only have enough power to close the windows and turn on the lights, but it's all
Right.
jump scare because they show up outside and you're like, "Ugh, close the door,
Right.
kind of stuff. I don't
Right.
particularly care for that. Also, it's just like, okay, I get the basic premise. Like it's a puzzle game with the cameras, but it's at the same time, it's like that's not doing anything outside the first play.
I prefer jump scares when I'm with another person. Also, when there's other people around. You know what I mean? It's like it's much less pleasant for me when I'm alone.
Why do you think that
I
is?
don't really enjoy it so much.
Why do you think that is? Because that's interesting. Because
guess it's kind of
I would
first
agree
of all,
with
it's
you.
like a group experience because
Yeah.
it's like everybody
Yeah.
can like laugh about it together. It enhances it, and also it's just like less scary because we could protect each other if there's
And
a
you
monster.
jumped also, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It's just more fun, I guess,
completely agree.
with the group. But when I'm like alone, I prefer not to be jump scared. It's just not. It's like I have enough anxiety
right.
in my life. I think that has a lot to do with it too. I'm guessing. I would be I wonder if a psychologist has ever done an experiment or a survey on this or whatever. What do you call that when they get data? Study. I wonder if a psychologists have ever done a study on this, but I would imagine that people who like jump scares are less anxious people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have a lot of anxiety, and it just makes me have more anxiety, and I've already got enough of that in my life. So
I actually don't really like the jump scare stuff with groups either and I think the main reason is because I feel stupid every time I jump.
I mean, I do that like laughing afterwards or like during it.
you better not listen to Criss Cross.
Yeah, they will.
'Cause
They
they'll
make you want to jump. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's the therapy
Only
I
90s
need.
kids won't
No,
understand.
right now I don't want a jump scare. They will make me want to jump. So
So Criss Cross is coming out with a horror game? Is that what you're saying?
No, so
it's
going
about
back
missing
to
the bus.
So the two like modern equivalents I can think of for this are Resident Evil 7 and Alien Isolation, which are both more walk-in and ominous, but there's also a lot of jumps. Alien
So it's a
Isolation
mixture.
Alien Isolation is a really, really, really good example, I think, of like the perfect kind of horror in my opinion, because the premise of the game, outside of like plot stuff, is that at one point you encounter the alien, and from that point onward, the AI is hunting you actively, cleverly. So it can hear like the sensor thing in your hand kind of stuff. And it
That's
does
kinda
stuff
cool.
like get ahead of you. So I'm gonna like put this over my face while we keep on talking. But like it's just very much like sneaking around constantly and not knowing where the damn thing is. And I think that's great. That's the kind of like, this is Eurogamer. They're good people, but like I should have gotten a better clip. But the whole idea is that like you don't know. Most of this game, you're just like, you can play it in VR, MacGuffin, but it doesn't have like a whole VR thing. But like the whole idea of this game, and I'm gonna pick up a better clip. You're a gamer, you keep on getting in this shot, and I don't want to do that. Who is okay? Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're not doing that anymore. But the idea is that
Ryan has aborted mission.
I mean, I do have one I can use. But like the whole idea is that like it's hunting you and it can figure out what you do. If you hide in closets a lot, then it figures out how to find you in those.
Ooh,
If you use the scanner,
It's like a dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
clever girl.
minus the it'll
I've
see you
hunted
if you're
things
moving
that'll hunt you before.
and not moving. It doesn't matter. It'll do both.
Mm.
So
what's the difference? That makes me wonder because like it feels like that's sort of like playing a game like a first person shooter against a human.
yeah.
So like is there a difference between a jump scare and when you're playing like a first person shooter with other people and they surprise you and kill you? Because you still get that same reaction.
No, I don't think so.
The
'cause, like,
ejaculation of terror.
that's see how it just came out of the corner like out of nowhere right there.
Yeah.
I'll play that bit really quick again. It's not the same as like a first person shooter. So they're playing this in VR right now too. So it is bolted right at them. Like it's
Right. What like is there like a way that you could categorically differentiate between what just happened and like if you're playing a first person shooter and just another player comes around a corner and
I
scares
in
you?
like go ahead.
So-
I have a way to do also.
Yeah, so I think the difference is that a game like this, it's a more purpose-built experience. They're going to build tension, and then that tension is going to be built up slowly and agonizingly to a point where they're going to release that tension by scaring the crap out of you. Whereas a first-person shooter, the building of tension isn't there necessarily, or at least not.
There could be
not in a cultivated
organically
way.
built up tension.
So in a first-person shooter, you actually are able to stop the opponent. You can hurt them. You can run away. You can do that kind of stuff. If this, you can't do anything to it. It's invincible.
So a one-hit kill is the.
No, it sees
the
you.
criteria?
You have a flamethrower to make it go away for like a few seconds while you hide, and that's it.
What if you're like?
It's more.
Can you have a real life
paced.
jump scare where you're just walking around your house and like, because like sometimes I have jump scares in my IRL. Like
I
I'll
don't
be
think those are jump
walking
scares.
around at
I
night
don't
and
think
something
you're
will
using the
just
term
fall.
correctly.
No, I don't know. I'm just asking. So there has to be intentionality and planning behind it for it to be a jump scare.
Well, I think
Otherwise, it's just a scare.
as was just said in the chat, which I agree with. Like it's set up and payoff,
Right.
and that's
So
why
there's
I
no
think,
such thing as an organic, naturally occurring jump
There
scare.
could be.
It has
So
to
if
be
you're in your
planned.
house and
I'm just asking.
no, yeah. So you
Getting
could
to the bottom
I could
of things
imagine a natural jump scare, so to speak, if you're in your house and you hear a. I'm about to like explain one that is a trope in a movie all the time though. Like you're in your house and you're up in your office or in your room and you hear a noise downstairs and you're like, oh no, what is that? Somebody's
And it's
in my
actually
house.
a murderer, and they actually kill you, and that is an actual.
No. But you like come down to investigate, and you're scared because you think it's a murderer or a burglar, but really it's just your cat that jumps out and goes meow.
Well,
I mean,
I think it would
yes.
still be pretty scary if it was a real murderer too.
I mean, that's fair.
or a horrifying alien.
Yeah, those are all
But,
scary
like,
things.
I guess those are jump scares. I think jump scare has more of a nuanced meaning, but I don't know where the nuance is.
Yeah.
I mean, is a jump scare a form of narrative where it has to have an author, or is a jump scare an experience?
Yeah.
That's the question, I guess, that I'm asking.
I think probably a form of narrative, and then things that just happen to you are just like scares. Like, like
Frights, spooks, and haunts.
I don't know how I
scary
missed
things.
the joke. I don't know how we missed the opportunity for this joke. Justin McGuffin said it's a cat home from cat camp that jumped out at you.
I'm home.
It's just I don't know. Like that's I think there's something there, but I don't know what the nuance is because the only time you talk about jump scares is in terms of a narrative.
I'm gonna start talking about them in terms of all of
Just
the
like
things that give me
anytime you're
anxiety.
scared.
Yeah,
Anytime you were
like,
suddenly
my inbox
scared.
is so full. I just looked at my
Oh, man, that was
notifications
such
and
a
I have,
jump
like,
scare.
7 new emails.
Like I just
gives
tripped
me a-
over the sidewalk. Oh, I just got jump scared.
Yeah.
That can be a jump. I don't know. That could jump scare me.
I don't think
I hate
so.
tripping.
I
Oh man, I
agree,
didn't
but-
expect the Amazon delivery guy to ring the doorbell. What a jump scare.
No, that scares the shit out of me. Oh my god. We had a security guard come to drop off like a one of those just notices about the building or something, like they were gonna have a meeting, and he rang the doorbell, and I've seriously not had somebody ring my doorbell in like 2 years, and it scared the ever loving
I hate
shit
it
out of me.
I hate it when people ring my doorbell. But
Doorbells are like torture devices for people with anxiety.
and people with
It's just
children,
like, at any
especially
moment-
anxious people with children. Yeah.
I turned off the ringer and all my notifications on my phone like 2 years ago, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Because those things freak me out too. Like you could just be sitting around minding your own business and your phone rings. That's terrible. It's like torture.
What do you
I
think?
mean,
What
I don't.
Am I
know,
alone in
though.
this?
Yeah, I don't
No.
know.
Why is he reaching in that toilet bowl? What is this you're
This is
showing us?
Resident
Oh
Evil
my
7.
god!
So Resident
That
Evil
was a
7
jump scare.
No, that's not. Okay, hold on. That's a great example then. No, it's just something
just a
creepy.
scare.
It's creepy.
It's a trepidation.
Yeah,
I
it's a-
think you
it's a
don't
gross
expect
scare.
a jump scare.
Yeah.
It's a setup.
It's
Yeah.
just it's just the payoff. Wait, no. No, you know what it is? It's about the pace. Because there's a huge setup and a slow payoff. So it's like ambling scare, not a jump scare. Jump scare has to go whoop up. You see what I'm saying? You see
Well-
my diagram? Whoop up. Whoop, up.
Yes,
That's a jump scare.
Stop it. It's a sharp peak. I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No.
But it
It's
has-
got to be a.
but it- No, I don't think it has to be a long thing. No, you don't have to build up much. All you do
No, you're
like,
right.
is
Okay.
turn around, see an open door, walk towards it, boom.
Yeah.
So you could segment it up to have like a slow build up jump scare or an immediate jump scare, right?
Yeah.
The point is that it's set up, payoff. It doesn't matter. I don't think the time frame is particularly important. Yeah, I'm gonna stop showing Resident Evil 7 stuff. But my central idea is that, like, for the past couple of years, there's been a good renaissance in terms of like horror games and like quality horror games. Layer of Fear is another one that's more walk-in and actual jump scares that came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I have heard a lot about, games like Resident Evil 7 and
That one you can play completely in VR. It's terrifying.
it's actually made me want to play it, but I think I only will ever play it if I'm doing it like on a stream, because I feel like if I'm going to put myself through that torture, there has to be some sort of payoff, like some
That's how
sort of
people
reason.
play this game.
Do you think people who are who enjoy jump scares and horror a lot, do you think that they envy people like me who just live in constant terror and panic and anxiety?
Why would they? What?
Because it's like, I don't know, is this
No,
a grass is always greener kind of thing?
No, because I
They're
think
like,
it's
"Man,
I think the jump scare, the pleasure or the drive for a jump scare and enjoying that sort of thing is the adrenaline rush, and you're not getting like an adrenaline rush by being an anxious basket case, like.
Oh, I've had adrenaline rushes from like having too many emails on my notification on my phone. I
So
have,
do you
and
guys,
it's not
what do you
pleasant.
guys think about these YouTube or things, or the people who post videos, record their friends being scared, like they scare their friends and then put the videos online? What do you think about that?
They're
like-
almost all fake.
Pranks that are dumb.
Yeah, they're just pranks. So I'm not talking about pranks in general, but specifically like the ones where they're just like yelling and scaring their friends.
No,
Well,
it's
there's a lot of different
dumb.
kinds. I
don't-
kind of like the ones where it's a couple and they'll make like a supercut of like 50 times when they will terrorize their partner. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen these?
Yeah,
It's like
those
a
are
whole
kind
genre.
of those are kind
I
of
kind of
like
like they're
endearing.
endearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But if it's like, I hate the ones where they're like got the camera and they're like, yo, we're here in my homie's house and we're gonna go scare him, and they just like, they're like, come on, oh man, this is gonna be so funny, and they're like walking around and they're like, man, okay, my friend's sleeping right over there. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna scare him. I got this mask. It's real scary. You know, I hate that. That's
you know
the
what?
kind of shit I hate.
Yeah, I hate those because I feel so
Do you know what I'm
bad
talking
for the
about?
person that gets scared.
Yeah.
And but the ones that I do like are the ones where he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna put this mask on. It's gonna be so fucking funny." And he's like, "I'm gonna go," and then their friend like jumps up and punches them in the face.
Punches them in the face. Yeah, those are good.
And then gets pissed at him because
But
I'm like,
but that's because
"Gotcha."
I'm so annoyed by the dude with the mask
I know.
that I want to punch him myself, and it's like the second best
Yes.
thing is watching somebody else punch him.
Yeah. No, for
Yeah.
sure. That's exactly why I like it.
I just hate the chatter. The chatter is so obnoxious on those kinds of videos where they're like
Yeah.
explaining the whole setup and everything. There's
So
no
what I'm
art
gonna
to
do?
it. They're just,
So I went to the store and I got this mask, and I'm gonna put and see it's a scary mask with blood on it. I'm gonna put this mask on. Like,
yeah, right,
like-
yeah,
What awful
exactly.
videos are you guys
It's like
watching?
explaining the joke.
Yeah.
You haven't seen these? They're all
I
over
mean,
the
I've
freaking
seen
internet.
like at least I guess one example, but not enough to like know like the genre tropes.
They even have some where they pretend that these are fake too, but they'll pretend that they're like gonna go, like they're doing these To Catch a Predator things. Have you seen these the
Really?
fake ones?
No, what?
Yeah.
Why?
So there are these people who make, because they get a shitload of clicks and views and they make a lot of money. That's why they do it.
I mean, okay.
So
yes,
they'll
I know
pretend-
the actual why. I was being facetious. I guess. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. No.
Wait,
It's
are they
okay.
like vigilante
I
To
think it's
Catch a Predator
bad.
people?
No,
yes,
it's fake.
exactly.
Oh
So
my
they, yeah,
gosh.
but they're fake. So they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
yo, I've been talking to this person on, I don't know, whatever, some chat site, and they think I'm a little boy or a little girl or whatever, and then they'll go and like, it's all fake, but they set it all up, and then they act like they're like this big hero. I don't understand who in their right mind
understand.
would want to be an actor to play the Predator on those fake things, though.
people
Because like you
in
could
YouTube
seriously
videos, like
get your life ruined. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do people actually
yeah.
believe that these videos are true?
I mean, I think
yeah.
as with all things on YouTube, kids do.
Okay.
You know,
well,
like
sure.
they're
that's
targeting
true.
children.
and adults.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean, I knew the stupidity of my question as I was saying it, so.
But I think these kinds of people, they do kind of target kids a lot, and they
really,
it's like we have
For
no
those
no
videos?
viewers because we have absolutely no appeal to kids on our show. They're like the opposite of our show.
Right.
We have bright colors.
We do have bright colors.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need a little bit more. I don't know, like a dinosaur mascot. Ryan,
Some
can you start
puppets.
wearing a dinosaur mask?
No, I
So
have
what we're gonna
the-
do is we're gonna
I
get
have the-
Ryan to wear a dinosaur mask.
No,
He's gonna endear and charm all these
I
kids.
Have
and
the, I
they're
have
gonna
the
start-
minion.
Hey, there we go.
That one.
That's what we need.
No, the middle-aged parents are coming in now in droves.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're
boomers!
clicking on.
What's going on?
Yeah. For our
minions.
podcast listeners, he's got a minion over his face.
No, I don't. You're a liar.
It never
Anyway,
happened.
yeah, my
Whoa.
central like idea is like because when I
Distortion
was
of
thinking of the dark,
truth
I
and
was thinking of like Alien Isolation, but like there's just a good resurgence. I don't know if there was ever like a desurgence or recession in terms of games, but like there's a resurgence of really
It's been
quality,
one big
like,
surgence.
solid like psychological horror games instead of like jump scares and shoot everything, murder all the monsters. And,
I like murder all the monsters games.
yeah.
Those are
I mean,
good.
Murder all the monsters? I don't know,
In
that's
my-
asking a lot.
in my list, Dead Space is.
Why do
one
I
of
have to
the
murder
older
all the
versions.
monsters?
Oh, you don't have to murder all the monsters. You can run away from several of them.
Sounds like too much work.
But like Dead Space is a good example because in that, like, you have to chop off their horrible limbs to make them stop coming at you. So it takes like several shots, and it's really drives home the horror rather, because like they're jerking at you like a thing from The Ring. So like the frames are cut kind of thing, so they're moving
Oh yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
very fast, and there's lots of them. That's a kill all the monsters while also being scared shitless game.
That
Ryan's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's two great tastes that taste great together.
Yummy.
I don't know if I'll ever be a huge fan of horror, but it's fun sometimes.
Maybe I'll
It's a sometimes.
maybe I'll
food,
do a
like
stream series where I play one of those games or something, but I don't know. But for
On the
now,
way out, what's your favorite horror movie? Mine is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a very good movie.
It is good.
I
would.
do you qualify? I mean, Aliens is a horror movie, right? So I would
Enough so. It's more action, but it's there.
Yeah, so I would say that because I mean, I guess I like if I want to go like horror, classic horror, then I guess I would say I do like I don't even know, can't even remember the name. I do like the Exorcist. I do like The Exorcist.
I like. I think for me it's a
Terrifying.
toss up between Rosemary's Baby and The Shining.
Shining.
both
See,
very good.
but from both those examples, you can see that what I like about horror is like the psychological stuff. I don't really like the gore and.
See, for me, The Thing, that's why I like it, because like it has all those great practical effects, but it's also basically a whodunit with no answer.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
And now for something
Also like The
completely
Blob.
different.
Oh.
Let's do an email before we go tonight.
We have an email.
Yeah, we have an email. It says, "Dear JBYC panel, let's play some music for this. Here we go. Let's turn it up a little bit because we can't hear it now. Dear JBYC panel, can you think of something that absolutely everybody in the world would agree with? Sincerely, Global Citizen."
Dogs are the best boys.
No, you got the cat people to worry about.
Yeah, and I am a cat
They
person.
still acknowledge that they're good boys. They're all good boys.
You said the best boys though.
Okay, sorry. They're all dogs.
Some
are
people
all
are
good
afraid of
boys.
dogs. Some people are afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair, and I've met some bad dogs.
Yeah.
They're still good boys. They're just bad.
You
Did I ever
could
tell
get
you-
close.
I got
with
bit by a dog on a
some
run one
dogs
time.
are good boys.
I don't even know why I go running anymore. I just complain about running all the time.
I mean, it's a stupid exercise. It
I've been chased by dogs a lot. I've never gotten bitten.
I got bit by one. That was a jerk. That was an asshole dog. I was walking Not walking. I was running. Let me keep my facts straight. But I was running, and there's this guy walking one of these little dogs that's like maybe this big. Actually, I think it was a little bit bigger. It was like a little bit smaller than a Jack Russell. Let's to get it.
I don't know what a Jack Russell is.
Inconsequential.
Yeah. Anyway, it's one of the small yappy dogs. That's all you need to know. So
Could it fit in the bread box?
I was probably
It's bigger than a red box.
So I was running, and the guy was walking his dog, and I waved at him. I was like, "Hey," and I'm being nice, because I'm running in the South. So you wave and smile at everybody. So I waved and smiled, and then he's walking his dog, so I waved at the dog, and then the dog bit me in the back of the knee. Like where...
Wait, so at what point did you lose
just saying
sight
hello.
of the dog? Was it
I
like a
didn't.
missile?
It happened it happened
when you're-
as soon as I passed them. I'm not
Were
like...
you like in high five range when you waved?
No, I just went like, "Hey," and then I looked down at the dog, and I was like, "Hey," and then by then I'm past, and I'm looking ahead again, and then I feel like, ska, right in the back.
Well, you raised your hand at the dog.
I guess. Maybe it
You
thought
threatened the
I was
master.
threatening its owner.
Yeah.
So
That could be definitely taken as a threat.
it bit me in the back of the knee. I was
Dog
bleeding.
culture.
I was bleeding. It broke the
Dog
skin.
culture.
And the guy just went, "Ah, hey," like to the dog. I don't remember the dog's name, but I just kept going. Like
So you should have sued because you live in the neighborhood association.
Yeah,
your
I
culture
told
to
Stephanie
sue
the
each other.
story, and the first thing she did was get mad at me because she always gets mad at me anytime I get injured.
Yeah,
I mean, it's your own damn fault.
it's always your fault.
She got mad at me, and she said, "Did you find? I bet you didn't even find out. Did you stop and get the person's information? Was it vaccinated? Did it have rabies?" I'm like, I don't know. I just kept running. She was like, "I can't believe you didn't do that."
Imagine the situation where your dog has rabies, but you take it for a walk. Like, come on, champ. You still got about 22 hours to live. You might as well get a little sunshine.
Foaming at the mouth. Well, I failed my try at the question, so why don't you guys try then?
Something that everybody can agree on.
I'm really trying to think. Okay, it might be something like this, like, water is a reasonable thing to drink.
Shut up.
At
No,
least
you disagree.
occasionally. No, like
You yourself disagree.
I'm drinking water right now.
You've
water.
always been talking about like how you don't like water and you like drinking other stuff.
All right, here we go. Black licorice
I've come
is
around.
disgusting. That's something everybody can.
I
trying
love
to
black
find the other side.
licorice,
Oh
so
my
like it.
gosh.
GFY.
So we all failed. What you should have said is water is wet.
Yeah.
There's gotta be
Facts.
some-
Facts of life don't count. Like,
Why not? It didn't say that.
no, I'm trying to give the.
I think this is that's a reasonable stipulation though.
Yeah.
It's got to be an opinion.
Then we all suck and we failed.
Is there an opinion that we could all share?
I mean, I guess there are some facts.
Is there an opinion all three of us could
Like,
share?
okay, is there something that everybody hates?
Um,
Is it? Do you think there's somebody who loves cancer? Are there people out there who are like, cancer's awesome? I think it's great that people get cancer. Like,
There might be a disorder. Like, I don't know.
a disorder, cancer-loving syndrome.
yeah.
I mean, like people eat hair and weird because of that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there might be something. I don't know.
So what you're proposing is that the thing that everyone can agree with is that cancer is bad.
I would say that's probably as close as you're gonna get. I've never met somebody who has told me that they think cancer is good.
I've never met anyone who thinks the Earth is flat, but I know those crazy people exist.
Here's our challenge. My call to action is: if you love cancer and you think it's awesome,
Don't.
send us a message and
Send Send EJ a message because I don't.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I don't want your email.
I am not interested.
all right. Last question though is there anything that everybody likes besides dogs? Is there
Everybody
anybody who
likes.
doesn't like
Back rubs. Back rubs are real good.
back rubs? My dad doesn't like back rubs.
What?
There's people that don't like being touched.
I bought my dad a massage.
Fair.
I bought my mom and dad a couples massage thing, and my dad was like, "I don't like people touching me." So back rubs.
Did
are
you
out.
tell him
really
you're
like-
welcome? Out of
I was
spite.
pissed. My mom ended up taking my sister-in-law.
Yeah,
Everybody
both
likes eating without saying what food.
Well, I mean, there's.
No, some people have like irritable bowel syndrome and stuff, and it makes.
Yeah, if you don't have a gallbladder, eating
really
can be
bad.
pretty stressful.
Everybody likes sleeping.
That's a pretty good. You might be onto something, Ryan. I mean, I'll tell you, I used to not like sleeping because I felt like it was a waste of time, but I still enjoyed the act of sleep.
That's true. So what you really didn't like is that you had to sleep.
Yeah, but then some people probably have like nightmares or something, and then they don't like to sleep.
That's fair.
Yeah.
that
If I
might
had
be
night terrors, I might not like sleeping.
Sleep's the closest we've come so far, though, Ryan. That was
Everybody
pretty good.
likes the seminal hit, The Wire.
You might have just nailed
I
it,
think
Ryan.
you did. Yeah.
And everyone's favorite character is what's his name? The guy with the shotgun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
What
what
was
is
his
that
name?
guy's name?
Oh.
The
Oh, God.
Wire.
Come on. The Wire shotgun guy.
Um.
Omar. I was
Omar.
gonna, yeah,
Omar
Little.
Little. Yep.
Everyone's
I was
favorite character is
thinking,
Omar.
Omar's coming, but I didn't remember if it was him or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say like something.
Omar's coming.
It's Omar Little.
Yeah.
I would have to say yeah. Sleep is number 2. Sleep is probably like 89%, and then The Wire being everyone's favorite show and Omar Little being everyone's favorite character is probably like 99%.
Yeah.
Here's a black horse from Communist Cabbage. Everyone loves Shrek.
Shrek the
yeah, if you
movie,
could-
but not Shrek as a franchise, like because.
I think Shrek the character.
Well, what I'm saying
I don't know.
is.
The Shrek the character is annoying.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that
I don't watch
that
Shrek
whole
for Shrek.
franchise got a little long in the tooth and pretty bad in the end there.
My favorite thing about Shrek is probably, let's see.
Justin McGuffin
Don't
says
say
everyone
Bobby.
likes peeing in the pool. I think that might be the one.
Justin McGuffin, you're a terrible human being.
No, you don't like that people pee in the pool, but you like peeing in the pool.
No, it's not a
I don't know. I watched that movie
lazy
Sniper
thing.
when I was a kid, and they talked about how if you pee in a body of water that like parasites can go up. I know that's probably not true,
The
Yeah.
dreaded
but ever since then I've
Candiru.
been.
I'll believe it when I
It's
feel
a South African parasite. They don't live here.
Yeah,
They definitely
eat
don't live in
pee.
chlorine water.
Yeah,
They
If
do
you-
have diseases now that can live in chlorine water. They just
Well, they're not going to swim up your
they
pee
just
hole.
released a health bulletin about it.
where is this health bulletin?
There's a look it up, health bulletin. No, that probably will not actually get you anything.
Is it NIH?
Where do you get these health bulletins? Attention, health bulletin.
That's just ad.
This just in. Bacteria in pools.
They call it a crypto
Epidemiology
disease outbreak.
Yeah.
There's a fecal parasite is causing more disease outbreaks, and swimming pools may be
Well,
to
that's
blame.
pooping in
Center
the
for Disease
pool.
Control.
That's different.
Yeah.
No, you don't even have to poop in the pool. You just have to have your butt in the pool.
Oh no, that's right. Poop touches my butt.
If you think about it, if you do swimming pools, I mean, I swim in a pool almost every day actually. But
Who are you,
What
rich
whole
person?
parasites do you have? How many
have a
worms
pool
are
in my
dancing on your
apartment building.
butthole at night?
That's what I'm saying. It is a pretty disgusting idea that it's just this pool of water, and it's only that thin layer of fabric. Your poop can get through that, and the poop's on your butthole, especially
You
if
can
people
go
don't like
around
it.
it. Like I don't understand what you're saying of this. Like I don't like the chlorine kills everything.
No, I know.
It's
That's why I go
this
swimming
thing.
all the time. But it doesn't kill everything. The Center for Disease Control just told us that it doesn't kill everything. It doesn't kill this one poop parasite.
That's disconcerting. But can we talk about why in the world do swimming trunks have that mesh inner lining?
I don't know.
I think it's a privacy thing, right?
Wait,
Because when you're
what?
like swimming around and you got the billowing fabric,
Why can't I
there's
just
a good
wear
chance
underwear?
somebody could see.
Hold on. Why do you have
No one wants to. Bobby,
crazy?
have you learned nothing from almost drowning by wearing your pants and your underwear? when
My tidy whities
It's
that I wear to
incredibly
go swimming
uncomfortable.
are not gonna like weigh me down.
you wear underwear? It's
No, I don't.
uncomfortable. It's It would be incredibly uncomfortable to have a pair of freaking underwear on while you're swimming.
The
would
primary
you want that?
purpose of the net inside a pair of swim trunks and provides support for the genitals while swimming. Additionally, swimsuit netting prevents chafing or by creating a barrier between sensitive areas of skin and the trunks.
That kind of makes sense too.
I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in Vietnam, though, in Asia, they make you wear these really tight. Fortunately, it's not a Speedo, but I have to wear these. They don't let you wear like trunks or boxer or trunks. They make you wear these really tight, like form-fitting lycra swim shorts. I have no freaking clue. I really don't know.
Ask.
I have no idea.
You have homework now when you go to the pool
It's like-
tomorrow.
I don't speak Vietnamese and well enough to talk about why I have to wear those pants. Why do
So
you?
wait,
have
why do you
to
have
wear
to? Like you have to go.
tight
It's,
swimsuit?
is it provided? Do you have to go buy your own?
No, I
pair?
had to mail order some off the internet.
What? No.
Um,
Why? If it's required, why aren't they like somewhere around there? What?
Hold on, I just found a Quora thread. Let's see if it makes any sense.
Oh God, jeez. Why don't you just go to Yahoo Answers for Christ's sake?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, this is a
we're
terrible
not
answer.
my brother.
It just says it's probably a local custom.
Good answer. That
They
was.
don't want you wearing anything that could feasibly worn outside of a swimming environment. Loose swim trunks could be worn elsewhere. What the?
What is
I
that?
could wear
What?
tight swimsuits elsewhere. In
No, you're
fact,
not-
I do often wear my tight swimsuit as like a pair of underwear, and I go for a run, and then I go to the swimming pool, and then I'll go for a swim. I take a shower first though, and I clean my swimsuit with soap and water. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Where do you get
yeah,
all this
you made
time
it very
in your life?
explicit.
it takes like 45 minutes, the whole operation.
Yeah, that's too much time.
But you're not wearing it out. You're not wearing it visibly.
I don't
That's
have
different.
kids.
You're not wearing it visibly. It's different.
All right, that music means we've
So-
come to the end of the show.
So you can hide your dirty shame, your
Yes,
dirty underwear,
Obviously, we
you can
all
hide
do.
your dirty laundry.
Yeah, that's what good, well-meaning citizens of Earth do. So.
Citizens of Earth.
Hide your shame.
All right, that's it for the show, guys. So, as you know, this week's theme was The Dark. I don't know if we actually talked about The Dark at all, but if you want to vote on what the show's future themes are going to be, you can head on over to our Discord server where we'll have a poll up, also on our Twitter at JBYC Show. Next week's theme has already been decided by the community, and it's going to be first jobs. So yeah, send us your news stories, topics. People don't often send us anything to talk about, but you guys, if you email us or get on Discord or on Twitter or something, you can tell us like about first jobs and ask us questions or stuff and prep us for the show, and we can talk about things that you might want us to talk about having to do with the theme. But you know, the things that are on those topics that are the poll, what are they called, polls that we vote on,
Yeah.
we don't actually come up with those things. This is a rough one today. We don't
17
decide.
tries.
Who decides?
You decide.
That's right. During our after party, the chat picks all the items that go on the poll that you're going to be voting on to find out what the themes are going to be. If you want to be there and get something on that poll, you got to come and do it. So if you want to, join us live for the after party after we record. So you can find our email and Twitter at jbyc.net. Watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/JBYC show every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, or listen to the podcast wherever you get podcasts. From me, from Ryan, and from The Edge, thank you guys for watching, and we'll be here next week with First Jobs.
That should be pretty good.
Goodbye. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Do that as a topic for a show. That's my favorite part.
This bit is more as footage art made. Outro music for quintessential Southern middle-aged dad.